Welcome back, True Seeker. August 11th, 2023. Perhaps a appropriate day to ask the question I'm going to ask, and we'll get to why. But before I do begin, let me apologize. I am running a few minutes late. Right when I was about to go live, my dad called me and needed a little technical help. So we're running a few minutes late. But again, I'm finishing this short book right now on Kobe Bryant. And I mentioned a few days ago that it was noteworthy to me that Moses Malone, the first player drafted out of high school by Utah, died at age 60 right before Kobe's last season, where he finished against Utah, also drafted out of high school, and he scored 60 in his last game. And then again, there's the biblical thing with Exodus 4, where Moses' staff is turned into a snake by God. And again, that's in the beginning of the Bible, which is known as the first 5 books of Moses. And again, Moses Malone won the finals in 83. Kobe turned 5 that year. Bear Bryant died on January 26th that year, the day Kobe would end up dying on 37 years later. Anyhow, those NBA finals, they began 60 days after Moses Malone's birthday, and they ended 281 days after Kobe's birthday. And Kobe was 4 years old at the time, but 281 is the 60th prime. And the big quote from Moses Malone for those finals was the confidence that they were going to sweep the Lakers. Philadelphia, Kobe's hometown, swept the Los Angeles Lakers that year. And Moses Malone, before it happened, said, faux, for meaning they were going to win it in game 4. That's a sweep in the NBA finals. It's a best of 7 series, first to win 4. So think about this. Again, Kobe was still 4 years old at the time they won. He would turn 5 in August, shortly after the finals. And the year Kobe came into the NBA, the year Kobe came in, 96, that was the year Jordan won his 4th NBA Finals. And Jordan's 60 years old right now. And in the 4th month of this year, they put out that movie about how Nike made so much money off the Air Jordan brand and largely took over the world because of marketing Michael Jordan. And, the whole 4 thing, it just reminds of LeBron. LeBron got his 4th championship the year Kobe died. And LeBron signed that lifetime contract with Nike when Nike was 44 years old. And again, just Nike. The year Kobe retired in November 2016, just months after his last game against Utah, where he scored 60, they put out the Kobe Bryant After Death shoe. And Comedy Central, just days from that, did the cartoon where Kobe dies in a helicopter crash. And again, the year Kobe died, which was 4 years later, right? That was 2016. 4 years later, 2020, the Lakers signed AD, like after death, Kobe after death. And they go on to win the finals that year and give LeBron his 4th ring, like I was saying. But here's where 4 and 60 fit together perfectly. I already knew a few things, but I was overlooking the most simple thing. Look at the word 4 in gematria, you guys. It's 60. 4 is 60. Moses Malone dead at 60. Kobe scores 60 in his last game against Utah. Again, Moses Malone drafted out of high school. The first 2 players drafted out of high school in pro basketball history all died right before Kobe's season. And the other one was Darryl Dawkins, who also played for Philadelphia like Moses Malone. Darryl Dawkins, when you take the alphabetic order in numerology, 60. When you take the alphabetic order in reverse with numerology, notice how Karl Malone, longtime star for Utah, is 60. And the name Malone alone is 60, if I didn't say so already. Malone is 60. Darryl Dawkins, 60. The word 4, all this 4. And we know what 4 is. 4 in numerology is relating to death. Manly P. Hall, where I learned about this Kabbalistic code of putting numbers into words from, he has the book about numbers. And, he shows how 1 is, the person. Well, it's a number of things, but it's also the entity, it's the individual. And then 2 is the, the natural relationship, man and wife. 3 is the child. And then the phase after you've lived and procreated, the next phase of life is death, which is why it's 4. That's part of the tradition. But also in Mandarin Chinese and in Japanese, when you pronounce the number 4, it comes out the same way you pronounce death. That's in those languages, Japanese and Mandarin Chinese. Oh, the other 4 that I forgot to mention is with the LeBron thing, winning his 4th title the year Kobe died. Remember, LeBron passed Kobe Bryant in points scored in Kobe's hometown, Philadelphia, and Kobe fell to 4th in points scored the day before he died. And we already been talking about how 4 is associated with death a million times way before that happened. And they had to have Kobe up in a helicopter with a 4 propeller blade. If you actually look up his official helicopter, the Black Mamba helicopter, only has 3 blades on the top. But the one he was in, the Sikorsky 76. I'm sure that didn't have anything to do with the 76ers. 4 blades on that one, like a cross. And remember, Kobe died at 41, you guys. You see how crucifies 41? So is Kobe Bryant 41, dead at age 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age. In the 74th NBA season, Cross is 74. Moses Malone was drafted in 74. Kobe dies in the 74th NBA season. Can Cross 74 like Jesus, like Messiah, like Gospel. There's 4 books in the Gospel, right? Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. 4. The Gospel's the story of Jesus. Again, we're talking about the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits doing these sick rituals. When Jordan's father died, it was on US 74. Remember when Nate Thurman died at age 74, 27 days after LeBron scored 27 in Game 7 on the real King James' birthday? Then Nate Thurman dies at 74, who played for the Warriors and Cavs and has number retired with both teams. And funny enough, that was the number 42. And if you write out 42, it's 74, which is also interesting. Goes with how New Testament equals 42, and it begins with the 42 generations to Jesus. And again, Jesus is 74, and Jesus Christ is 74. And if I didn't say it's already parables. Jesus spoke in parables, which are riddles. And isn't what we're doing here unwinding all these riddles? All these numerical riddles right in front of our face? Jim Carrey in the Batman series, the Riddler, he's doing these letter number riddles. Then years later, he does the movie The Number 23, where he's doing letter and number riddles. If you guys are new here, 74 is a special one. English is 74. Gematria, that's the practice coin numbers in the words. 74 ties in with Hermeticism and how everything has energy. Everything has an impact. You're either the person having the impact or having the impact on them. There's a reason they're doing all these rituals. Holiday is 74. Independence Day is 74. This nation's birthday is 74. 3 of the first 5 presidents died on 74. Killing is 74. Later, when I do my stream with Jonathan, I'm gonna show you what I noticed about Tupac's last interview in light of Kobe Bryant coming into the NBA. Because remember, Tupac is 74, like Machiavelli's 74. Tupac died in 96. Kobe came in the NBA in 96. But Tupac died in a huge 74 Jesuit ritual, and then so did Biggie, and so have a lot of other rappers. But Tupac's is the most blatant because they put him on the cross like Jesus on Remember the 5th of November. And again, Machiavelli, a play on Machiavelli, who wrote The Prince. Did you notice that the year that Tupac's mom died, her death was announced on the real Machiavelli's birthday, and that was the same year Prince died? In 2016, the year Kobe retired and LeBron won the finals on the real King James birthday with the Cavs. Then years later, he'd be winning his 4th, with the Lakers, Kobe's team after Kobe's death. Tupac said, we're doing this from Cleveland to LA. The Rams went from Cleveland to LA and then won the Super Bowl on the 213, February 13th, for the 213 area code. Like Tupac's album, All Eyes on Me, came out on 213, and then he died 213 days later. Like how Moses Malone died at 60, and then Kobe scored 60 points to finish his career 213 days later. I'm going to show you something interesting about the upcoming anniversary of look at this. In the most simple cipher, Michael Jordan is 113, Kobe Bryant's 113, right? We're always calling the NBA the 113 league. The National Basketball Association is 113. Okay? All those things are 113. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, the National Basketball Association. Kobe's debut in the NBA was November 3rd, 96. The Tupac on the Cross album came out 2 days later on Remember the 5th of November. And again, I'm going to save the other piece for later that I noticed that's so interesting about Tupac and Kobe beyond what I just said. But November 3rd, this year, is going to be the 27th anniversary of Kobe's debut. And remember, Jordan So, okay, there's something called Sumerian gematria, just multiplying the alphabetic order times 6. And look this up because it's all facts. So, Michael Jordan becomes 678, just like Kobe Bryant in that cipher. 678, okay? From the day that Jordan played his last game in the NBA in Philly, again, the city that won the first pro basketball championship, biblically named. Again, we're talking about these biblical rituals here. Again, the Church of Philadelphia in Revelation 3:7. Kobe dead on the 37th year anniversary of Bear Bryant. We'll get to why all that is and why. Just wait till everything that lines up with November 3rd. It's crazy. It's crazy. I hope nothing happens to Michael Jordan on November 3rd. It could be somebody connected to Michael Jordan. But I have a feeling we'll definitely see a fateful headline that ties in with this same storyline we're looking at right now. Because again, Jordan's 60 right now, and they've done some big rituals with Jordan. But November 3rd, 113, Kobe's debut, this huge number in the NBA with their rituals. Look at all this with Jordan here. I got to skip down past some of this stuff. Okay. From Jordan's birthday to November 3rd is 259 days, which is interesting, but the 37 weeks is what screams out because, again, remember, with the base ciphers, let's just take, just to make it easy, let's just have these two up here. Whoops, I got one I don't want. Okay, look at the name Jordan. You see how it's 26 forwards, 37 in reverse? Look at the name Bryant, 26, 37. They're the same, right? And again, in the case of Kobe, he died on the 26th day of the year, the 37-year anniversary of Bear Bryant. Plus, he died on the 157th day of his age, which is the 37th prime. And here's what makes these numbers so interesting. 26 and 37 in the Hebrew study of coding numbers into words, both 26 and 37 have everything to do with God. And in the Old Testament, the phrase I am is used 37 times. And in the New Testament, Jesus says, I am he 37 times. And remember, Revelation 3:7 pertains to Philly, the city that connects all this, where Kobe's from. With regards to 26, again, just think about it. Just think about all this from everything, from the Catholic Church being about the sun in the sky and the Son, Jesus Christ. Think about how this comes together through numbers. The 26th verse of the Bible is where God makes man in his image. And a human being has 206 bones, 206 like 26. And man is made out of stardust, and the stars make a full rotation, the zodiac, every 26,000 years. All this 26. And the word God in Hebrew and in English is 26. The name Adam is 26 in English. God makes Adam in the 26th verse in the image of him. In Christianity, Jesus is the Son of God, God in flesh. Catholic Church is first worshiping the sun as God, a star. You know, again, the sun's said to be the nearest star. Athletes worshipped as gods. Kobe and Jordan, obviously, Los Angeles for Kobe, which is also 37, and Chicago for Jordan, which is also 37. And Carolina is also 37 since Kobe was drafted 13th by the Carolina team and then sent over to the Lakers for Vlade Divac. And of course, LeBron, or not LeBron, but Jordan went to UNC in Carolina. Carolina also has this 37, like Los Angeles and Chicago. But 26 and 37 are numbers that have to do with God. Kobe dies on a Sunday while traveling from Catholic Mass synced up with the Pope on a calendar that's named after a Pope. And again, through this English language, which is credited back to the Catholic Church. And again, the monk Burfirth of Ramsey Abbey from the year 1011 AD. And anyway, from Jordan's birthday to November 3rd is exactly 37 weeks. Interesting. Just like what happened with Kobe on the 37-year anniversary of Bear Bryant. Now, they just made that big movie, right? They just made that big movie about how Jordan and Nike getting him, it made them the company they are, the brand, the money, everything. Changed the world. And oh, shoot. Hold on. I have a mistake there. I'm going to skip that part. That part's mistaken, actually. Okay, but yeah, here, let's get into this part right here. Who is doing this again? Who is making this happen? Like I said, look at where Jordan's father was killed. US 74, again, Moses Malone, drafted in 74. Kobe dead in the 74th NBA season. Nate Thurman dies the same year that Kobe retires, but for LeBron, clearly. And also the Warriors and Golden State and Kobe Bryant are both 41, and his dad was drafted in the league 41 years before he retired, and just on and on and on. But US 74 and Interstate 95. Again, the Jesuits created to counter the 95 Theses. I mean, can you get any more? You can't get more Jesuit Jesus. Well, actually, you can, because remember, the day that Jordan's father died, his father's name equals 237, like he died 23/7. But his father died 33 days after the NBA Finals that Jordan won. And again, 33. Jesus on the cross at 33. Knows how NBA Finals is 33. And knows how in reverse it's 57, right? That was his father's age. His father's dead at age 57, 33 days after Jordan wins his third finals. Michael's also 33. Jesus on the cross at 33. With the most simple cipher, Kobe's 33 to go with him going in the 74th NBA season. But again, yeah, 27th anniversary of Kobe making his debut will be November 3rd this year. And by the way, they're probably going to put out the schedule around August 17th. They said the first game will be October 24th, the day leaving 68 days left in the year. If they put it out August 17th like they did last year, it'll be 68 days before the first game. That's interesting because basketball equals 68. That's how many teams they got in the tournament now in March Madness. But when that schedule comes out, look at what's scheduled for November 3rd. Let's just look at what's going on November 3rd in the NBA. That's days away. If it looks like there's some funny business, also just look at what's going on at the time of Jordan's birthday. Because like we pointed out, they've done major rituals with Jordan the last 2 years, and we've capitalized in a big way. Kobe's birthday is the 23rd day of the 8th month, 238. And notice how Michael Jordan is 238, like Kobe's birthday, 23/8. And again, just like in the thumbnail I have, number 23 and number 8 right there. There's a lot to say about that number. It has to do with the Eye of Providence, and the Eye of Providence, that symbol, the Eye of Providence got the eye on everything. Those names, Jordan, Kobe, in the minds of almost everyone. But 2 years ago, going into Jordan's birthday, the Bulls won 4 straight games. They were 19-8 at home. They won 4 straight to get to 23-8, and it was a nice 4 games to roll because we're like, they're definitely doing that to be 23-8 for Jordan's birthday. And then this past year, we had an even longer streak because we saw if they lost a whole series of games, they'd end up 26-33 on Jordan's birthday. Jordan 26, Michael 33, Bulls also 33. They did end up 26-33 just in time for Jordan's birthday. Again, just you can see the rigging. So when the schedule comes out, look ahead, look at the games. Sometimes you can pick out like, oh, I bet the Bulls are doing this by that point in the season based on who they're playing. Okay. Remember, they just announced the other day that the Kobe Bryant statue will go up in 2024, 4 years after his death. And with regards to the whole son thing, remember, son is 54. Kobe died on a Sunday. Kobe Bean Bryant, 54, dead the Sunday before Super Bowl 54, the Joe Montana Bowl, where it was the 2019 season, and Montana wore 19 with the Chiefs, 16 with the Niners. The Chiefs take it. But the Kobe Bean Bryant statue will go up 54 months after his death as well. 4 years and months, 54 months. And that announcement that it was going up on 8/8/24 came on August 9th, the day leaving 144 days left in the year. Jesuit order 144/54, like how this all been synced up with the first Jesuit Pope from the very beginning. But of course, the Jesuits, they control the world of, well, they control the world of rig sports in this nation, but they control a lot more than that. And with regards to the whole 5-4 thing, look at what day the Jordan film came out. Air, the true story of how Nike rose to prominence. You know what? You know what's extra creepy for that for me for that something extra creepy about this movie to me is my mom cleans houses. That's what she's always done. And One of her clients ended up being Dan Wyden. And if you don't know who Dan Wyden is, he came up with the Nike phrase, just do it. And my mom cleaned his house for over 15 years and seemed like a really nice person, gave her the nicest tip each year and kept her around and paid her well. And he died right before this movie came out. And it was in a big 39 ritual where Nike equals 39. And the thing that's weird to me is something that, like, my mom doesn't think that's the way it was, but I still wonder because the way it played out is I was early in my YouTube years, and in one video I mentioned about how, I was gonna try and reach out to Dan White, and this was he still alive? He just died recently, and again, I'm talking about, like, back in 2013, 2014, but I said, "I'm gonna reach out to Dan White because he's got power and influence, and he's connected." My mom is in his house cleaning it, weekly, so anyway, it was like at the same, and I never even got to the time of doing it because it was like in no time at all, Dan Wyden laid off my mom. And he just said it was because, she wasn't doing as good a job. Well, she had admitted that she's getting older, right? That her knees weren't as good. And he really liked how for years my mom got down there and really made his floors just look shiny and beautiful. He wanted to get somebody who could do that again. That's what he told her anyway. And my mom just thought maybe that was true, but I just thought, what are the odds of this? She's been working for him for over 15 years, and I mentioned this, and now in no time, now she's not even employed by him anymore. And then my mom also said he'd gotten remarried, and the new woman didn't like her. He could tell the new woman didn't like her, but I just thought it was so weird that when I brought that up, it played out that way. Anyway, they bring up his name right at the beginning of this film. If you watch it, they talk about where he got "just do it" from, and he said it came from the war and how they would just have to like execute. I forget if it's citizens or prisoners. It's like, really, that's where it came from. Just do it came from like what you would just say if you just had to execute some people. But again, this all started to make more sense with like the whole Kobe Bryant had the short film with Nike, Black Mamba, that ends with the exploding helicopter. That was 2010. That was 10 years before he died. But anyway, this film Air, coming back to it, it released on April 5th, which can be written 4-5. Jordan wore 45 for a minute, or 5-4. And it's also the 95th day of the year. Like how his dad was dead on US 7 and I-95. He was at the interchange of those highways where his car was found in his body. At least so we're told. And, just in recent times with Jordan, just clues. Oh, by the way, from the release date of that film, April 5th, to November 3rd is 212 days. Chicago Bulls is 212. It's a span of 213 days going back to LA and Kobe. Kobe, Jordan, Nike athletes. But you had this in recent years, The Last Dance, April 19th, 2020, shortly after Kobe's death. The Last Dance, it can mean a lot of different things. It can also mean you're near the end. And that came out on the first day of Taurus, which in astrology is the bull. Then remember what happened 1 year to the day of that. April 19th, 2021, Scottie Pippen's son dies at age 33 on the first day of Taurus when Pippen wore number 33. And again, just how big that number is to the NBA and NBA Finals rituals. Remember, Cleveland's another 33 team. They were the first team to win after being down 3-1 in the playoffs in the NBA. 33rd team attempt to do it, and they got it done. But yeah, I mean, that's how we know this stuff's so ritualistic. So again, the point of making a video like this, it's not Michael Jordan, something definitely bad's going to happen to him on November 3rd. It's just understanding that a lot of entertainers' lives have been taken at much younger ages than 60, and mega icons too, from Michael Jackson to Prince and beyond. By the way, Michael Jackson went out in a huge 113 ritual. But and there, I think I got to go back and double check on the Michael Jackson, but I think his last public appearance was March 3rd, if I remember right, 3-3, like Michael's 33. But yeah, today is the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and Jonathan does want to do a live stream later today. And I think what I want to do is just do a verbal telling of just a really consistent pattern all throughout hip hop with ritualistic death, and see if we can create a memorable episode that also helps people wake up to what's going on to put an end to this, because this stuff is gross. Tupac, the day he died, it was Caesar Borgia's birthday. That's who White Jesus is modeled after, Caesar Borgia. And Machiavelli's The Prince is modeled after Caesar Borgia. Tupac dies on Caesar Borgia's birthday, and then they put out an album, Machiavelli, on the big Jesuit day. All roads lead to Rome. Again, then his mom's dead, and it's announced on May 3rd, the real Machiavelli's birthday, shortly after the death of Prince. And again, like I'm saying, how it all comes back into the basketball, because the whole world of entertainment, music, movies, sports, what's going on in the news, politics, it's all being controlled by this Jesuit cabal. They're connecting the web. And remember that term for the evil hidden hand in the entertainment industry, Svengali, it relates to a spider, like the spider web. On the anniversary of this album at the Travis Scott Astroworld Festival with the big cross stage that all those people supposedly got trampled. And then UB40 of Astros dead, and the Astros just lost the World Series to the Braves after Hank Aaron had just died by the numbers. So anyway, be back later tonight with Jonathan. And again, 50th birthday of hip hop. It should be a call-in show too, so stand by for that one. But yeah, if you guys have any more thoughts on this combination of 4 and 60, I think I got it all in here. You can go back over my post at GematriaEffect.news. Anyway, we'll talk more about it tonight. GematriaEffect.news for more information. Crazy, it says there's 444 people watching. You got to be kidding me. 444 people watching as I'm talking about all these. That's too weird, man, because you know what? When I went down to LA, in April, which is the 4th month, to talk about all this, God, there were just 4s everywhere. Maybe that's the sign now that maybe it's the natural sign now that I figured out how all this 4 fits in. Maybe it's the sign this is the right place to finish the Kobe book. Ooh, that's wild. Carl, okay, Carl, thank you again for your generosity. I really appreciate it. And I will be in touch with you because the web team let me know something recently. And they're also for other people who are trying to download the latest version of the calculator. They're working on that as well. So if you've been having trouble downloading the calculator on the Android platform, it should be fixed relatively soon. Thank you very much, Rach. Hope I'm saying that right. Apologies if not, but thank you very much. And I think that is it for the super chats. Thank you very much again. And thank you to everyone else who always hits the like and the share and who shows up for the videos and who helps get the word out. And yeah, I think I'm going to have 2 real short books ready to go here pretty soon, and hopefully a card game not too far behind it. Again, I feel like in the time period that's coming up, it's not going to be the best times in this world, but it's going to be a great opportunity to wake up a lot of people. And I think this community has really put together something that's super powerful that really can snap people out of the spell. So if you guys got here late, rewind the video, hear everything I said mostly at the beginning, and then you might have to listen 15 more minutes in before I say, oh yeah, I was supposed to say that too. But and it'll all be in the short book here pretty soon. And you guys can let me know again what you think. Here, maybe I'll read something real quick for other people who didn't hear it. I'll just get one more group's feedback because I didn't read this on Gematria Effect Sports, but I'm still deciding on if I want to slim this down or if it is right now. Let me see. Let me pull it up here. Okay, again, for the short Kobe Bryant book that I will be done with very soon. The intro is called "Don't Call It a Coincidence," and it goes like this. It doesn't take that long. Do you remember where you were on January 26, 2020, when the news of Kobe Bryant's demise hit? It was reported then that he had fallen from the sky in a helicopter in the city of Angels not long after Hollywood's blockbuster release of Angel Has Fallen, a film that debuted on what turned out to be Kobe's last birthday, August 23rd, 2019. Retrospectively, that film's not so coincidental title and release date appears to be part of a sinister chain of events that forecast Kobe's early demise in the manner he passed, a helicopter crash. Those events included Kobe's final game in the National Basketball Association on April 13th, 2016, where courtside ticket holders received the Kobe Bryant Robo Jam toy. By the way, Robo Jam equals 74. I didn't say that here in the book, but just since we already talked about it. This plastic creation made Kobe Bryant into a transformer, half man, half helicopter. The events also included Nike's 2010 short film Black Mamba and Comedy Central's 2016 episode of Legends of Chamberlain Heights titled End of Days. In the case of the Black Mamba film, it starred Kobe Bryant, Bruce Willis, and Kanye West, only to end with an exploding helicopter of all things. And in the case of End of Days, the symbolism was even more blatant because the cartoon version of Kobe Bryant comically died in an exploding helicopter crash. Furthermore, the episode of Legends of Chamberlain Heights was released just 6 days before Nike launched the Kobe Bryant After Death shoe on November 22nd, 2016, but a few years before the Lakers signed the man known as AD or Anthony Davis in the season of Kobe's demise. And isn't it funny they put out that shoe on the anniversary of the JFK assassination? Probably angle there with that. Since the biblical theming is obvious, think about how LeBron King James was AD's co-star in the Lakers' 2020 championship after the Kobe tragedy. And think about how the Holy Bible named after King James. In fact, the King James version was published in 1611, similar to how the fateful Comedy Central cartoon about Kobe's end debuted on the 16th day of the 11th month, or 1611. It is to say the jokes are deeper than you might have imagined, such as Kobe Bryant coming from the city of Philadelphia, taken after the biblically named Church of Philadelphia, which receives the letter about the synagogue of Satan. It's a detail jiving with the fact that Satan, a fallen angel, fell to earth from the sky in the biblical telling. And it syncs with how Kobe Bryant had his career high, scoring 81 in his 666th game. It also syncs with how LeBron James won the NBA Finals for the Cavaliers in Kobe's last season on the actual King James's birthday, June 19th, 2016. And as for why he did it with the Cavaliers, it was because the son of King James was King Charles, and those who fought for King Charles in the English Civil War were called Cavaliers. It also had something to do with Cleveland being the 216 area code and the year being 2016, and the mathematics of 6 times 6 times 6 being 216. So part of me just wants to end that chapter there, but I've written this one more paragraph just in case people need to be compelled. But I can't decide if this just makes it extra wordy and unnecessary. So you guys tell me, again, is it better with or without this paragraph that I'm about to read? So if you've read this far and are intrigued as the author, I promise it will only improve from here, erasing any doubts you might currently have about these events being anything other than purposeful. And regarding doubts, if you're inclined to call such occurrences discussed to this point a coincidence, I ask that you continue to read on so that you can have the opportunity to discover they are not. Instead, you will see that everything discussed thus far is part of something much more sinister that is highly planned out and seriously impacts society. So please stay with me through the end, because I will get to all your questions and more, including who, what, why, when, and where. And I will also do it as efficiently as possible to respect your time and persuade you to join me in stopping an agenda manipulating our hearts and minds through unnecessary deaths and other related and equally wicked tactics dating back to Babylon. So I just don't know if that last paragraph is necessary, but you guys can give me some feedback, and feedback's good. If it's too wordy, if it's unnecessary, it'll get the chopping block, or if you think it adds something and maybe might make the person who call it all a coincidence read on, then maybe it should stay. So, all right, we'll be back later with Jonathan. And again, thank you to everyone who hits the like on the way out, leaves a comment, a share. It's all very helpful to the algorithm. And until next time.